This is going to be an interesting one because I know that some people will get triggered by the things that I say in this video. Logic is not the ultimate truth. And this is a hard pill to swallow for some people. And I used to be one of those people who thought that if something isn't logical, there's no point in it, that it's somehow unnecessary. And how wrong was I? I forgot about the other side of the coin. Logic is only one part. Then the other side is magic. And to really understand it, we can divide it into masculine and feminine. Masculine energy, it's the logical part of the mind. The feminine part, that's more of the intuitive, that's the being, that's the creativity, and that's where all the really cool stuff is. For anyone who is trapped in a logical mind, just thinking in logical ways, not feeling, because feeling is more of this intuitive and feminine side, you will miss so much of the beauty of life. And because I know I was stuck in this for like 20 years, I thought that science and logic and all these things were the ultimate truth. But logic is a paradox, because logic, eventually, if you keep on going with logic, it will cancel itself out. And think about that for a second. It's logical that logic cancels itself out. This is what's proved that it's only half the truth. There's the other side. There's the being, the feminine, the creative, the intuitive. And once I started to accept and let in that part of myself, because we are all made of feminine and masculine energy, and when I started to even a little bit balance it out, I started feeling so much better. It has to do with feelings, it has to do with intuition, it has to do with all these feminine traits that the world and the societies we live in now, they aren't built for that. We have built a masculine system, and there's a good reason for that. It's like this whole industrial revolution and all these cities and all the technology and all these, they have required a lot of logic and masculine energy. But we are entering a phase where we don't need to build more houses. There's more houses than there are people. And we are entering into this phase of starting to realize that, oh, there's more to life. We can be, we can feel, we can do all kinds of stuff that's unlogical. And it's so fun. So if you think that logic is the only option and that's the only right way, question yourself. Start to do something that you think is totally irrational and go and just feel. How does it feel to do something? What if that is the answer you've been looking for? What if you find your purpose by following how you feel? Clearly, the old way isn't working that well when everything is supposed to be logical, everything is supposed to be structured. We have more mental health problems than ever, especially in the West, where we have all these great setups. So there has to be something wrong. And I know this because I live in Finland, and it's one of the most kind of structured places in the world, and everything is kind of well built, but the people aren't happy. If you ask them how they feel, there's so many problems. But on a surface level, on an external level, everything looks so good. That's why Finland has won the happiest country like a lot of the times in a row. If you ask a Finnish person if they are the happiest country, it's not, because the whole thing is built on logic and this whole test is kind of the living standards and how well we have society and how much debt we have and all these logical things, but no one asks the people how they feel. How do you feel to live in Finland? I can tell you, I've been traveling so much that I've struggled to feel good to live in Finland. Everything is so well, everything looks good on paper, but there's no emotion. And that's the whole point. Logic cancels out all the magic, the emotions, the mysteries. And that's boring, right? If you just want logic, you could never watch a movie. You should just watch some super logical thing, analytical thing like numbers and stuff like that. But movies, they're made to feel. They're made to when you be and you experience these being things. So the next time you start overthinking, you start logically processing something, stop yourself, catch yourself and be like, oh, but what's on the other side of the coin? Because there's the unknown, the feminine, the water, the shapeshifter, and that's super interesting. Especially for me, because I've been so caught up in this logic and I've been caught up in my mind that I can't do something because it doesn't seem logical, or it isn't smart to act like that. It isn't smart to spend money on that. That's unnecessary. Logically, it doesn't make sense. But then when you keep on challenging logic and questioning logic, logic will cancel itself out. And it's this biggest paradox in the world. So I want you to step out of the cage that you've built for yourself, and the society has sold you this idea that everything needs to be logical, because there's so much more to life. And I know it. And when you start opening your heart, when you start feeling, when you start following your intuition, when you just start following your excitement, logic can be thrown out the window. And yes, there's a time and place for logic. There's a time and place for structure, for masculinity, for these rigid systems. But we need to include the feminine. We need to include the softness, the feeling, everything. And that's when we can start creating something truly great. And that's kind of when we get back to oneness, because the masculine and the feminine creates this one energy. And when we embody both, that's when we find balance. And that's when life starts to feel and also logically seem much better. Logic is a paradox. And the sooner you realize this and you start testing it out for yourself, you will see that, wow, there's so much magic on the other side. And this is where you start to trust, because you have experiences from getting things and experiences and feelings outside of the domain of logic. Step into the unknown. I know it's probably easier for women to embody this and to go more into this unknown and feel and do that. But for men, especially men who are really highly educated and have this mathematical mind and keep themselves stuck in logic, just try it. Flip the coin once in a while and just go with the intuition. Go with what feels right and just stop analyzing and live, because life is here. Life is now, and it doesn't care if it's feminine or masculine. It's both. It's supposed to be both. So throw logic out the window and see how it feels like. I promise you, it will feel good. And if it doesn't feel good, it may be that it's so unfamiliar that your ego and your body just shuts down and gets scared. But then you know that, oh, wait a minute, I might have some fears that I have to process in order to get to experience that other side. Because I promise you, when you have both sides open, life is so much more beautiful than being stuck in logic. That being said, this is gonna be it for today's video. My name is Mitz, your future purpose, here to help you find more passion, purpose, excitement, get rid of fear, all these negative patterns in your life, so that you can step into your highest purpose and really enjoy life. If you like this video, like it, comment what you think, and I'll see you in a future video. Peace out.